Hi, today we're going to work on an easy and fast design for athletic t-shirts. You're going to get a lot of requests as a t-shirt printer for sports teams. And a lot of times it's going to be kids, a baseball team with 15 people on it maybe. And they just want some shirts to hand out. They're not looking for anything real fancy, and it's only 15 or 20 shirts, so you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Doing award-winning designs because they're not expecting that. So here's kind of a design I've been using for many years for whenever somebody says I have a sports team and I need something done. Let's do this. We'll start with this is CorelDraw, obviously, but you can use this same technique in Illustrator or Inkscape if you use that. It's a good program and it's free. Draw an ellipse, an oval. I'll go over here to my text tool and I'll click all caps, and let's say this is Central High School. So I'll just type out Central, and we want to use an athletic style font, so I'm going to use this one, Superstar. That's kind of cool. Now, just from experience, I know that I kind of want this kerning, the space between the characters, to be greater than it is. So I got my shape tool here, and that opens up these two control bars. I can do one of two things. I can click this, and each click spreads it apart a little bit, or I can left click it and drag it to wherever I want. That's too much, but just to show you. Just from doing this before, I kind of know that about there is good. And depending upon the length of the word, you may want to stretch it up a little bit, give it a little bit of height, so it takes up more room on the shirt. If it's a real long name, you're going to definitely want to do this, because if it's not tall enough, it's going to look really small when you print it. Okay, now I'm going to go up here to my text menu. And this is something you may already be familiar with. Fit text to path right here. And now this text will jump to any path I select, just like that. You can see that red line. That tells me it's right in the center, central. That makes sense. And then up here on this little menu, I'm going to make it vertical, like that. And then if I select my oval, I can change the look of it. I can either go wider or skinnier until I get it to look about the way I want, which is about like that. Once I have it the way I want, I can just delete that oval, and now this is just on its own. Okay. Now let's make this look a little bit more interesting. I'll select it. I'll give it an outline. I'm going to turn it red first so we can keep track of what we're doing. Give it a blue outline. I just right-clicked my mouse on the blue color palette. And then if I click F12, that opens up my outline menu, which you can also do that over here on the left with the little pen. And I'll make this outline 8 points, just to see what that looks like. I like round corners most of the time on when it's for type. And behind fill, if you remember from another video, behind fill means the outline is behind the actual character. So you don't see, it doesn't change the shape of the character, and you only see half the line. Scale with image, very important in case we're going to enlarge it or reduce it later. All right, now I don't think that's enough, so I'm going to give it a little bit more. Let's go to 10 points. And we'll leave it there for now. Now I'm going to turn my outline white with a right click on my palette. So it's still there, but it's white. I'm going to copy this, Control C, paste it, Control V, or you can use your menu for that. And turn it black. Now, what I have here is a black central and a red central right on top of one another. And they both have a white outline. Now, I'm going to send this black one to the back. I'm going to go up here to Arrange, Order, to Back of Layer, right there. And that sends it down behind the red. You can do the same thing with a shortcut by clicking Shift, Page Down. That sends it to the back. Alright, so the black one's behind the red one. Now, I select the red, and I want the black now, so I'm going to click Alt and my left mouse button, and that's called the Dig tool. What that does is now my black's selected. It goes down one every time you click Alt and your left mouse click. It's called the Dig. It's to select objects that are behind what you have. So, now I'm going to change this to black with a black outline. Now you can sort of see it peeking around, but it's exactly the same. So what we're going to do now is hit F12 or go to our outline menu. And we'll make this a 14-point outline. And now we're starting to get somewhere. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 16. That's cool. So now what we have is the red with a white outline and the black with a black outline hiding behind the red, and it gives it that outline effect. So now, click that. Alt left click is my dig, and that brings up my black outline. I'm going to copy that and paste it. See? And then once again, I'll send it down to the back. Control Page Down, or once again, Arrange Order. And now it's in the back of the other two, and I'm going to click Shift, hold down Shift, and click my arrow key. That'll give it a little bit of an interesting drop shadow. And now it's starting to look a little bit better. Now, the mascot of Central High School is the Lions, so we'll put a lion in there. That's just clip art. You can get this type of thing all over the place. There are many websites that have this type of thing that you can just download for free. Be careful with the copyright. Make sure you have permission. I have contributed a lot of my own illustrations to a website called openclipart.org. Which is a good source for finding just things like this. You know, once again, we're not winning any awards with this design. We just want a nice looking t-shirt. To center this, you can either eyeball it or select it, hold down Shift, select your word, click center, and you can see it shifts a little bit. Here, I'll move it way out here so you can see how that works. Select lion, hold down Shift, select your word, central, click your C, and that'll center it right under the word. You can do the same thing up here with Arrange, Align, and Distribute. We've done this before. Align, it has all these different things, but just click the C and that'll do the same thing. Alright, and lions. And you might want to do that in a different font, or you might want to use the same one, Superstar. Put that down here. Now at this point you want to sort of eyeball it. You can stretch it, skew it however you want. Just get it to look kind of good. Yeah, that's cool. And once again, to center this, I'm going to click Lions, and then click Shift and the lion head. Click C. The one you select first is the one that's going to move. So just keep that in mind. You don't want your lion moving to match the word. Okay, once again, C. And this might look cool in italics. This font doesn't have an italic, so I'm just going to skew it like that with my shape tool. And that's good. I mean, that's fine. 10 minutes of work, and now you're ready to print the shirts, which is where you make your profit. Your customer will be happy. The kids on the team are going to be happy because this is an attractive sort of vintage style athletic shirt. And then you're going to want to show your customer what it's going to look like. So just get yourself a picture of a shirt, which you can get from your shirt company's website. And bring this to the front here. Shift. I have marquee selected my whole thing. Shift, page up, the opposite of what we did before. Get it to fit on the shirt. And this is where you can sort of look at your design and see if you want to change anything about it. And then go ahead and change the color to the color that you're going to print. And let's see how we did that. You can see that that blue outline now is the shirt color. I'm going to show you how I did it. Let's get into our lion head. We want the lion to be yellow and the outline of the lion to be yellow, and we want the white part to be the shirt color. So I'm going to use my color select tool. See this eyedropper thing here on the left where my mouse cursor is hovering? Sample color up here. There's two things, object attributes and sample color. We want sample color. Sample size, we're going to use the 5 by 5 pixels. Now if I select, just pick an area of this blue, see my eyedropper here? That's going to take the blue color of the shirt, and when I hold down Shift, see it turns into a little paint can or pitcher or something. Now I can change the white areas of my lion to match the color of the shirt, which is how it's going to look when it's printed. So just fill all that in. And I might have to zoom in for his eyeballs here, but see if I can get it. I got that one. If you have to zoom in, don't hesitate to do that. Teeth. Teeth. Okay, I'm holding down Shift the whole time. So now my lion face is the color of the shirt. And then the black part of this, we want to print with that yellow and his eyes separate here. Okay, now that looks pretty cool, but I'm going to do one more thing. Oh, see all these little freckles here? I'm going to have to do that. And then I'm going to do one more thing. A lot of times when you do a reverse print, the eyes don't look right because it makes it look kind of weird. Now something else you might want to consider doing if it's a light print on a dark colored shirt like this. Sometimes if it's something with a face, like in this case a lion, it looks a little funky when it's reversed like this. So here's a technique I've used in the past to go around that, or to make it look better. Change this to red for now. We'll reverse the whole thing. To do that, once again I'll lock this t-shirt so I don't move it. Lock object, turn that red, make sure you don't get the teeth. Alright, select the whole thing, lion and background. Copy it and paste it. Make the whole thing red. And group it. Control G or arrange, group. Drop it down, control, page down. All the way behind, and then give it a outline of yellow, and substantial outline. I don't know, 7 points. Round corners, behind fill, that's not important. Scale with image. And that's too much of an outline, so let's go down to 5 points. Just has to be a decent amount. 4. Alright. And then what I want to do is change the red to the blue and the blue to the gold. So we're going to start with the blue here. And everything that's now blue is going to be gold because I'm reversing the colors. Okay, so blue, gold, and then all that stuff in there, all the stuff in his mouth, teeth and tongue and all that. We'll make that gold. And now you can see that lion's starting to look a little better because he's backwards now. He's reversed. He's back to where he was when it was just a black illustration. And if you remember what it used to look like, I think you'll agree it looks better this way. And the outline helps it to stand out against the shirt. Now once again, this is red. So I'm going to go over here to my eyedropper, sample color, get my blue here, pick up the blue, hold down shift, go over to my red, and change all the reds to the shirt color. Change everything red to the shirt color. Now to get these freckles, I'm going to have to zoom in because I'm going to have to do these one by one. Unless I group them together, which might have been a good idea, but I think for now I'm just going to go ahead and ding, ding, ding. Get them one by one. And once again, this is not going to be for your print. This is just to show the customer what it's going to look like. Now the main thing, the main reason we reversed it is because now the eyes of the lion are correct. You want the eyeball part to be the light color and the iris or whatever it's called to be the dark color. So this looks a lot more like the way it's supposed to than it did when it was backwards. Alright, so as I said, this isn't going to win any graphic design awards or anything, but you're not, that's not your objective. What you want is to do a nice attractive t-shirt. This is sort of a vintage style, athletic design. The kids are going to like it. Your customer is going to be pleased. You can print this job and move on to the next one. So experiment with this technique, and I hope your next project goes well.